If your God requires you to do all his bidding and his dirty work, how powerful really is he? In our episode of Drop the Stones, we're talking about the hypocrisy of the Christian faith and how, they say on one hand this is what it is, and on the other hand it's not. And the power of God is one of them things. I remember in the faith of hearing how powerful he is, how mighty and powerful God was and can do anything that he wants. And it posed a lot of different questions, ranging from why is there sickness and famine in the world? Why can't God create this? But we have to get the trite answers of, well, it's a sinful world and this is the punishment we have to pay. And it's really not the people that are promoting the faith that are getting punished, but other innocent people that don't believe and listen or want to obey what the rules of the white man, nationalistic Christian man wants to put out in the world. But the thing that really I'm noticing a lot here recently is that it's legislation. The Christian nationalists feel like they have to legislate their beliefs because of one reason only, is that their God's not powerful enough to make it happen himself. If we have to criminalize gay marriage because we feel like God's punishing us because we allow it to happen in our country, and that tornadoes and earthquakes and hurricanes come because we have this on the books and allow it to happen in our country legally, which I find no irony in the fact that it usually happens, these travesties, in a lot of Bible Belt areas of the country. But to come out and say this is why, and that we have to criminalize this behavior, how powerful is your God? I mean, he had no issue in the Old Testament smiting people that didn't agree with him or didn't fall down and worship him. But this absentee God nowadays isn't around to do any of his work, and all his followers have to do is bidding for him to legislate it and make it true. And the truth of the matter is that it's not about a God, because this God that they have is created in their own image. It's a God that they want to put out there to use as an excuse to do evil deeds in the world and say, oh, God made me do it, or to make the rules conform to them that benefit them in the best possible way. So if we can legalize this and put it on the name of God, it's God's doing it for us. God's making us, make this a illegal activity, because we can't have self-control in anything we do. Whether it's we should criminalize alcohol sales in the country because we don't want the temptation of booze being on the shelves. So in order to help ourselves, because we have no control and just restraint in anything we do, we have to criminalize it, not make it even available for temptation, which is the nut and bolts of how the Christian faith works, is to eliminate everything, don't even talk about it, be naive to anything, and not practice restraint. And that only causes more issues, because then you make it taboo and everything else, and then you see the nefarious deeds that get done in the dark because it's criminalized, it's illegal. And the Christians are some of the biggest perpetrators of this. Purity culture and everything else put in there and combined causes so many evil things to happen because we've made it a taboo to talk about sexuality in the world. But this need to enforce and make people conform and follow the rules of what we believe, because it's what God ordained in us, is an excuse to make it and clean your conscience, because it is God ordained and Christ ordained. And it's just wanting to make things easier in your life, to conform to your wills and wants and desires. And it has nothing to do with a God, because this God is not powerful. He's a weak manifestation of man that tries to implement power into him to scare other people into believing. But the truth is, it's just a weak God that has no real power. It was just an image and an idol created by the Christian nationalists today.